Good morning. Welcome to Lil RedBud Homestead. My name's Michelle, and today we're going to be canning green tomatoes. As you see, we got a lot out of the garden, so we're going to try to save all these. Let's get started. First thing we're going to do is slice up the tomatoes. Cut off the top, and just discard the top and the bottom, and slice it into about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch, depending on how you like them, pieces. And you just continue all the way through. Alright guys, we're getting down to the last 2 tomatoes to slice up. I have had some mason jars in the oven at 225 for about 10 to 15 minutes. That sterilizes them, so that way whenever you start filling them, there's no bacteria or anything in them. Helps with the canning process to last. So we're going to finish up this last tomato, and then we're going to get those jars out of the oven so that way we can start filling them. This out of the way. Okay, let's go ahead and pull these jars out. Of these jars individually. I usually use a towel to pick them up. Alright, you're going to fill these jars up to the fill line with green tomatoes. Try to make sure you fill them up as much as you can, because as they sit in the water bath, it will shrink up just a little bit. So you want to make sure your jar looks good and full. One more. Just don't go above the fill line. So now we're going to fill up all of our jars till we're out of tomato. Alright guys, we're just finishing stuffing the last jar. And now we'll wash off my hands and get the tomato off. So, I've had the tea kettle going for a few minutes to get some boiling water. And you're going to take the boiling water and pour them in the jars on top of the tomatoes. You just want to fill them up with about a 1/2 inch of head space. Right there. Let's measure, make sure we're good on that. Right on the money. Then we're going to take a 1/2 teaspoon of canning salt and put it in the top of the jar. Alright guys, once you get the lids on all of them and they're ready to be put down in the water canner, you're going to put them in the water bath for right at 10 minutes. So you'll set a timer and you'll come back and you'll pull them out and let them cool until they seal. So let's get these put in the water bath. Can fit 5 at a time in my stock pot. So you're going to let them go for 10 minutes. So let's start the timer. You just want to make sure that you have about 1/2 inch of water above all your lids. So we're going to let those stew for about 10 minutes and we'll come back and get them out and let them cool. Alright guys, now you're going to get your jar tongs and get ready to pull them out. We've got right at 8 seconds left, so let's get ready to pull these out so they can be cooling. Alright, there's the timer. We're going to pull these out, or tilt just a little bit so that way the excess water comes off the lid, and sit them on a towel. You want to space them just a little bit from each other so they can cool good and seal. Now just go ahead and put the next batch in and do the same thing. Set your timer for 10 minutes again once you get them loaded in. Set your timer for 10 minutes. And wait for them to get done, and you're going to do the same thing all over again. Alright guys, that's the timer. Let's get the last batch out and let them be cooling. Alright. Now we've got them all out and they're over here cooling. Got a total of 14 pint-sized jars today of green tomatoes. Think that was a pretty productive day.